Are you here today to facilitate our peaceful process?
We will assist, yes.
Thank you very much indeed.
I see. If you have any questions or anything,
okay.
feel free to ask us.
I take it that everybody is acting under their police oath today and that they will respect our protest and our human rights.
As always, as long as it's within the confines of legislation.
Just making sure you're all safe, really.
Okay, thank you very much for clarifying that. It's been a little bit unclear in the last few days, so thank you for clarifying.
Me and Chris are on for the next few days, so.
All right, thank you very much.
You don't mind us standing with you at all? You don't mind
That's fine. No, that's fine. I'm here to film and document. That's all I'm here to do. And obviously, it's for our protection as much as anybody else's. We just want to see what goes in and out of here because we feel that it's a threat to the environment.
You have a
And if these people are breaking the law, we want it documented so that we can report it to yourselves, so that you then can take whatever action you are able to do for us. Yeah.
Any concerns or queries that you want us to raise with Bronze? And
Okay. Thank you very much indeed. That's very kind of you.
It's just mainly just for your safety because it's a busy road as well. We don't want to get
We came down here last year, and the PCSOs that were down here last year were very, very helpful, and we got on very well with them. But judging by what happened last week, there was some threats of arrest for exercising what we believe to be our right to walk in front of lorries. So perhaps you could clarify that for us.
we can do. Obviously, you have your right to protest.
Yes.
If an officer believes that protest is obstructing the cause that's taking place here and obstructing the work that needs to go on, then they will issue the warnings.
Are you aware that recently that a case has been thrown out by a magistrate that was where they said that we had a right to slow walk in front of lorries as long as we were not stationary, and that that is, I believe, our right to do that as our protest. That is how we would do our protest. So if we walk in front of a lorry, as long as we're not stationary, we're not breaking, I think it's section 137 of the Road Traffic Act, which is willful obstruction. In order to do that, we have to be stationary. So if we do walk lorries in as a protest, is that okay with you guys?
That would be something that would have to be clarified with Bronze, and it would depend on each situation as it happens.
Could you perhaps clarify that to us?
By all means,
Because we obviously don't want to be getting ourselves into any trouble if we can avoid that. However, I do believe it's our right to be able to protest in that way under section 10 and 11 of the Human Rights Act. So if you could clarify that with your Bronze, that would be very good.
Give us a second.
All right, thank you very much indeed for your help. Yeah.
Must be some sort of signal problem. I can't get through to him at the moment.
Okay.
What we may do is, he's not too far away.
Okay.
We'll go and drive and have a face-to-face with him.
Okay.
And see him. If you're obviously happy with us leaving in the sector.
I'm perfectly happy with anything that happens. Like I said, we're here to peacefully protest, which I believe is our right. And
of course.
Any clarification that you can give us on that is really appreciated.
Exactly.
If you can do that with your Bronze, that would be lovely. It avoids any embarrassment later on.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
You were mentioning possibly walking lorries in. If I was to suggest that to him, and that was obviously what you would like to do, and you believe you have your right to do so.
Yes.
How far down would you be looking to walk lorries in?
Somewhere reasonable. I mean, I believe they all come in from this end, do they?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the easiest access.
If we said from that telegraph pole on the left-hand side, they're approximately 100 metres.
Okay.
If we were to walk at a reasonable pace, we're obviously not going to stop in the middle of the road. But
what would you class as a reasonable pace?
if I was to walk at that pace for 100 metres, that would be it, without stopping.
Okay, I will raise that with him and I'll put that to him. It might be a case that we might be able to get some balance on that, but I'll see what I can do.
I think a balance is fair.
No problem.
So thank you, yes.
I will see if I can get that.
All right, thank you. Did you get any clarification on what I asked you earlier?
Yes, exactly, yes. I've spoken with Bronze. He will facilitate a lawful protest in the sense that you're being allowed to protest outside of the site, next to the site, with banners. With regards to obstructing a highway, we will facilitate any walking in front of vehicles.
I see.
It's a consistent approach that's being taken by Surrey Police. Should any person decide to walk in front of vehicles, and any offences that are deemed to be taking place, then relevant warning teams and
You'll go through the 5-step warning process,
exactly.
yeah?
Yeah, as you're fully aware.
Yeah.
I believe you're fully aware.
Yeah.
I assume you're fully aware.
Okay, I mean, you are aware that this has been thrown out of court already for the same thing in Lancashire.
I've raised that with Bronze, and he's
So we have a really good relationship with our police in Lancashire.
assured me that everything
We
will
have a
be
really shit relationship with Greater Manchester
dealt with
Police.
upon its merits,
They were
and if
really horrible to us.
they're deemed to be an offence, it's taken
Right.
place and it will be dealt with accordingly by the licensed.
Okay, and what possible offences could be committed if someone's walking in front of a lorry?
The offences that we're talking about are obstruction offences.
So that would be what, section 137?
It'd be unlawful obstruction of the highway, willful obstruction of the highway.
Does that not involve having to be stationary? Does that law relates to a stationary person?
Like I say, everything will be justified upon its merits. That's what
You do know that just recently there was a test case. Yeah, exactly. And so with that, it was determined by the judge that it was legitimate protest to slow walk in front of the lorries, as long as you're not standing still, because that constitutes obstruction. So that's why we intend to carry on with our democratic right to protest in that form.
Okay, yeah.
And so there won't be an obstruction. It just means that the transport
Like I
will
say,
be
I passed on the information that I've received from Bronze. That's all I can do.
because then if people were actually pulled out and arrested, it could constitute a wrongful arrest, and we wouldn't want that happening either.
Oh, of course not.
No,
of course
and
not.
I mean, the other point that's really important to make here is that if the police do that, if they do pluck people from a legitimate protest where that constitutes slow walking, what they're doing in effect by taking them away from the protest is they're actually limiting that right, and they're enforcing, as it were, an injunction by the back door. And so there would be rise to perhaps wrongful arrest.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, everything will be dealt with according to its merits. Okay, and if there's a justified reason for the 5-step appeal and removal of people, then that will be down to the
There is also something in
teams.
European law that it recognises that sometimes our right to legal protest, our right to protest, sometimes does legitimately hold up the highway. And that's our legal right.
By all means, I can only pass back the information that I've received, and everything will be dealt with according to its merits. Like I say, we just want you to be safe. We want obviously the road users to be safe, and ultimately allow you to put your message across, do what you want to do, but also allow for lawful work to be carried out here.
We have no intention of stopping the work. We have no intention of doing that whatsoever. We just want to exercise our democratic right to be able to protest, which will take the form perhaps of slow walking in front of lorries, as I've asked you about. And I believe that is our right, and I believe that judges have already made that decision, that it is our right to be able to do that. And they've thrown a case out of the court recently.
Even if we were actually breaking the law, Lord Hoffman said in the House of Lords, in the case Queen versus Jones in 2006, even civil disobedience on conscientious grounds has a long and honourable history in the country, and people who break the law to affirm their belief in the injustice of a law or government action are sometimes vindicated by history. Suffragettes is an example which comes immediately to mind. It is the mark of a civilised community that it can accommodate protests and demonstrations of this kind. And he's talking there about unlawful civil disobedience. We're remaining within the law here, and we're purely planning to slow walk in front of transport here, as has been done and tolerated in numerous other sites.
Okay, I say it will be deemed, it will be dealt with, I say, according to its merits. Okay, if that's what your plans are.
Yeah.
And that's what your intentions are
and
today.
There won't be obstruction because we won't be stationary.
I will feed it to Bronze. I'm merely here to liaise between you yourself and Bronze.
Well, I hope you can see that what we're asking is not unreasonable, and that we are being perfectly open and honest about our intentions today and the reasons why we are wanting to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, I will feed.
We are doing it because we feel that a bigger crime may be committed here by possibly poisoning water and air and soil and damaging health to other people. So that is the reason why we're here today.
Everybody's entitled to their own beliefs.
And if we are stopped protesting in any way or form, you are actually, in fact, facilitating this corporation in what their business is, which I believe to be unlawful.
But obviously it has the correct paperwork to be here.
It has paperwork, yes, but that doesn't make it right, you know?
You mean...
Further down the line, we could be talking about a whole different set of things, you know?
Yeah.
If somebody is injured by the goings-on of this company here, if the water's poisoned, if that was a terrorist put acid into a water supply, they would be sent to prison for it. So why is it that a corporation can do that and get away with it and be facilitated by the police and by the government?
I don't know much of the goings-on that happen inside there.
It's been proved in America.
Yeah, exactly.
But if we just, if we just concentrate on the recent test case, basically, the solicitors there said that the state had sought to criminalise a legitimate form of protest. Well, the judge himself said it has not been proved to him that in these circumstances the actions of the two defendants who were walking in front of the transport had interfered unreasonably with the use of the road, and that they were entitled to be acquitted of that charge, and that it was a legitimate form of protest. So that the police actions were specifically, they were wrong there. And what they did was take two people away from their right to legitimate protest.
Yeah, again, I don't know the situation
but
there.
Obviously, your role in this is to liaise.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, so I'll give you the information to go back and liaise with. So
I'm sure that my...
what we are having down. We're getting pressed down.
You're right. There's more people in there. What? Just stop for 5 minutes and go back to work in 5 minutes.
Here to help you guys.
I live otherwise.
I know, yeah.
Just stop saying hello, everyone.